All right, French horns. We're going to learn about the parts of the French horn, okay, the different parts. There's a lot of parts to it. We're going to learn the real basic ones, okay, that we kind of need to know. First off, you have this big, round, cone-looking thing. It's conical bell, okay, so we call this the bell, okay. That's one of the easiest ones to get because it kind of looks like a bell if it turns sideways. Next important one is the mouthpiece receiver over here. And you can point to these while I'm doing it, okay, while you're watching the video. I'm going to leave your horn in the case. Mine's on the ground just so you can see all this stuff. But mouthpiece receiver's here. And that's always going to be connected to the lead pipe, okay? This pipe right here, let me turn this around, is the lead pipe, okay? Mouthpiece receiver, lead pipe, all right? Now, you have these keys, okay? You have rotary valves on your instrument, is what these are called. These little circles have little rotaries in them, and we'll talk more about that later. But these little paddles are your valves, okay? So your first valve, and there's 3 valves. Well, actually, your French horn is going to have 4 valves. There's 3 valves on the front here, and the first valve is here, all right? And it's located closest to the mouthpiece receiver, okay? So if you ever get confused, you look for the mouthpiece receiver. The closest valve to it is your first valve. Okay, second one's in the middle, third one's farthest away. So those are the 3 front valves that we need to know, okay? And we're only going to talk about the front valves for now. We have a 4th valve also, which we'll talk about later. Now, you also have valve slides. So this is your valve, okay? This is your valve slide. This is the first valve slide, okay? And it's connected to that first valve. So here's your first valve. Here's the rotary mechanism. And then this first valve slide is right in line with it, okay? So this is the first valve slide, and it comes out and in a little bit. First valve slide. Second valve, again, in line. Here's the second valve slide, okay? Nice and easy, right in line. Third valve, here's the third valve slide. It's the biggest one. See how big and loopy this one is? That's how you can kind of tell it's a third valve slide. It's all connected, okay? So third valve, second valve is the little bitty one in the middle. First valve's over here, the first one. Okay? So, next and most important part is the main tuning slide. And with these double horns, there's kind of 2 tuning slides, okay? We'll talk more about how to use them later, but in the back are going to be your main tuning slides, okay? We'll talk how to use those a little bit later. If you look back here while we're back here, here's the rotary mechanisms, okay? You have these strings. You don't really need to know what they're called, but this is kind of how the valve works. Goes back and forth just like that and rotates, okay? Next part is this little pinky ring. It's kind of where your pinky goes when you hold the actual instrument, okay? And those are pretty much the main parts of the French horn. So let's review again. Bell, big part. Mouthpiece receiver, where the mouthpiece goes in. Lead pipe is the long pipe at the beginning of the horn, okay? First valve slide is closest to the mouthpiece receiver. So first valve, second valve, third valve, okay? Then you have the first valve slide connected to the first valve right here. Second valve slide, the little one, connected to the second valve. Third valve slide connected to the third valve, the biggest one. All right, and those are the main parts of the instrument on the front and the back. Remember, we have the main tuning slide, 2 of them here. Okay, and those are the main parts of the French horn.